Amendment offered by Mr. Engel of New York. At the end of the bill, before the short title, insert the following section. None of the funds made available by this act may be used by the Department of Energy or any other federal agency to lease or purchase new light-duty vehicles for any executive fleet or for any agency's fleet inventory, except in accordance with Presidential Memorandum Federal Fleet Performance dated May 24, 2011.
Pursuant to the order of the House of today, the gentleman from New York and a member opposed each control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from New York.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. On May 24th, President Obama issued a memorandum on federal fleet performance, which requires all new light-duty vehicles in the federal fleet to be alternate fuel vehicles, such as hybrid, electric, natural gas, or biofuel, by December 31st, 2015. My amendment simply echoes the presidential memorandum by prohibiting funds in the Energy and Water Appropriations Bill from being used to lease or purchase new light-duty vehicles except in accord with the President's memorandum. I've introduced similar amendments to the Department of Defense, Homeland Security, and the Agriculture Appropriations Bills. All three were accepted by the majority and passed by voice vote. Our transportation sector is by far the biggest reason we send $600 billion per year to hostile nations to pay for oil at ever-increasing costs. But America doesn't need to be dependent on foreign sources of oil for transportation fuel. Alternative technologies exist today that, when implemented broadly, will allow any alternative fuel to be used in America's automotive fleet. The federal government operates the largest fleet of light-duty vehicles in America. According to GSA, there are over 660,000 vehicles in the federal fleet, with just over 15,000 being used by the Department of Energy. By supporting a diverse array of vehicle technologies in our federal fleet, we will encourage development of domestic energy resources, including biomass, natural gas, coal, agricultural waste, hydrogen, and renewable electricity. Expanding the role these energy sources play in our transportation economy will help break the leverage over Americans held by foreign government-controlled oil companies and will increase our nation's domestic security and protect consumers from price spikes and shortages in the world's oil markets. So I ask that you support my amendment, but I just want to say, very briefly on a similar note, I've worked with my colleagues John Shimkus, Roscoe Bartlett, and Steve Israel to introduce the Bipartisan Open Fuel Standard Act, which is H.R. 1687. Our bill would require 50% of all new automobiles in 2014, 80% in 2016, and 95% in 2017 to be warranted to operate on non-petroleum fuels in addition to or instead of petroleum-based fuels. Compliance possibilities include the full array of existing technologies, including flex fuel, natural gas, hydrogen, biodiesel, plug-in electric drive, and fuel cell, and a catch-all for new technologies. So I encourage my colleagues to support this amendment, and I certainly will.
We're prepared to accept your amendment and commend you for it.
I thank the gentleman, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back. The question is on the amendment offered by the gentleman from New York. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the amendment is agreed to.